The Oklahoma Sooners are facing some offensive line turmoil. What's the latest in the SEC availability report?
You are Locked On Sooners, your daily podcast on the Oklahoma Sooners. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's up, Sooner Nation? Welcome to Locked On Sooners, and thank you for making Locked On Sooners your first listen every single day. Shout out to all the everydayers out there. Tune in and subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. This episode is brought to you by Mazda. Like our players, we sweat every detail because when you make every move count, pulling off the unexpected is only the beginning. Stay tuned later for highlights in this week's Moving the Game Forward. Mazda, move and be moved. I'm John Williams of Sooners Wire and USA Today Sports. He's Jay Smith of Unfair Sports. Welcome back, Jay. We missed you, man.
I miss being with you all as well. The work travels this time of the year always gets me. It's that 1 week of just craziness at my day job, and it's over, and now I'm back to normal.
Yep. And he's rested and so ready to talk Oklahoma Ole Miss because fairly rested. More rested than you were probably earlier this week. More rested than Ole Miss's Trinidad Chambliss is going to be. But no, let's discuss this latest availability report because, Jay, it seemed like Oklahoma's offensive line was finally healthy. The last couple of weeks, we got them together. They were all there. Everybody showed up to the party. And now on the latest availability report, we're going to have a little bit of changing of the guard, so to speak.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to have a right tackle change as we pull this bad boy up. It appears that Derek Simmons will be joining Keontez Lewis in the doubtful space, most likely something with injury that came at practice. So we won't be seeing Derek Simmons most likely, but there was an improvement that I think is very critical to point out. Logan Howland will be available. He's moved to probable. And if he's moved to off this list, or he's probably going to be probable the entire time, but he'll be available to play at that right tackle. And truth be told, he's done very well at the right tackle spot when he was playing it. So it's not a situation where I'm truly, quote unquote, concerned. Like, I like Derek Simmons to start because Derek Simmons has been our best at the right tackle spot. But Logan Howland was really good when he actually came in and played. So definitely a little bit of concern there. You wonder how it's going to look. But I think the other thing to even take into consideration too, John, is we got some crazy weather coming potentially. Now, the latest report I looked at, it doesn't look like it's going to be raining during the game, but like late in the game, it's going to start raining. But overall, I do like that Logan Howland's going to be available. At least we gained a body when we started to lose a body.
Right. The depth isn't completely in shambles like it was this time last year when we played Ole Miss, and the offensive line was not great. And listen, Logan Howland, he's had ups and downs through his Sooners career. Last year against Ole Miss was a difficult time to be getting your first real swim through college football. He's a better player now than what he was last year.
Much.
And the offensive line in totality is playing better this year than it was last year. Your offense as a whole is playing better this year than it was last year. So Logan Howland, he's had some really good moments so far this year. He's played some good ball. Still some ways that he can continue to get better, but you like your depth better than what you had this time when you were playing the Ole Miss Rebels on the road in Oxford. And remember, you were leading this team at halftime with the offense that you had last year. So Logan Howland's, again, showed some really good things. I think as a pass protector, he's in really good shape. He's developing as a run blocker. Just a really athletic dude that's going to help this offensive line. And again, he's getting to play again. If he plays that right tackle spot, which I expect him to do so, he'll be playing against or next to Fabechu Wiwu, a veteran offensive lineman. So the things will be a little bit smoother in that transition. And again, the rest of your offense is pretty much healthy.
Yeah. I mean, Javante Barnes looked like he's potential for being around. He's listed as questionable right now with that hammy situation. And Gentry Williams, who also kind of dinged up his shoulder a little bit, had a little stinger, came out, and it sounded like he wanted to go back in the game, but they told him, nah, we don't need you for the rest of this one. Go ahead and sit and rest up. So he's unfortunately dealt with a lot of injuries or whatnot, but it appears that he's going to be possibly available as well. This may be the game we may need him most, while at the same time, if weather is the way that it is, we may not need Gentry as much. We know that Ole Miss is going to throw the ball, and that's something we'll talk about more, of course, in the next segment. But as far as injuries go, I'm not as concerned as I was last year. Like you said, John, we had the lead in the first half going into halftime last year in that game, and then we started giving up 9 sacks. So that kind of makes it really hard to win a game when you're playing Ole at the offensive line. I don't think we'll have that problem this year at all, especially because Ole Miss's defensive front is nothing like it was last year.
Right. Yeah, it's a totally different group. They had NFL guys across that defensive line. I mean, it's like Oklahoma's defensive line. That's what Ole Miss was playing with last year. They've got some talent. They've got guys that can make some plays, but the talent across the board isn't the same. So I think it's in a really good spot. The cornerback spot is going to be interesting. I'd expect Cortland Guillory to probably get the start opposite Eli Bowen. He's been the guy that's kind of been one of their favorite players, but you'll see Devon Jordan, you'll see Jacoby Johnson rotating in, and you're going to need everybody because this is a really talented Ole Miss wide receiver core, or pass catching core beyond the wide receivers. Even look at the tight end, and they're really good. So much of it's just going to be the chess match. Can Brent Venables do enough to take away Trinidad's first read, make him continue to go on? We'll talk more about it. On Javonte Barnes, man, I just don't know if we're going to see him again. Like I just get this feeling that he's probably played his last down in an OU uniform, and I understand it. Shout out to him for the effort over the years. Torrey Blaylock, Xavier Robinson, that's your 1-2 punch. And if you need to see anybody else beyond that, it's probably going to be Jaden Ott, but give me all of the Blaylock, Robinson reps I can get, because those dudes are playing good ball.
Oh, they are 100%. Give me X-Rob, give me Torrey Blaylock, leave it at that. I saw Taylor Tatum made an appearance at the end of the game last week,
going.
So it looks like they're going to try to find a way to get him back up and running again, and that'd be nice to have an additional alternative there as well. Yep. But yeah, I agree with you. I think that we're at the end of the Javonte Barnes road right now. I don't think we'll see him probably for the rest of the year too. Maybe we'll see him bowl game. Possibly he probably will redshirt, hit the portal, have an opportunity to actually start somewhere in his last year of college football before, he either tries to go pro or he's done completely. So I can totally see that as well. But I do like that the report is starting to get a little bit thinner. Like when I'm looking at Ole Misses here, they got basically everybody probable, nobody out and everything, which I think they have players that are done for the year. They just don't put them on there every week because I think Oklahoma puts theirs on here because there's a chance they can come back. Like Sexton was supposedly slated for around this time, but sometime in this 5-game stand that he could potentially make a return. That may end up being the last 3 games of the season, which not too bad to have additional pieces. Same thing with Jake Taylor. And I think Troy Everett actually may be completely done for the year, but his injury is the injury he had this time around is the same one he had last spring on a different leg, which means he could come back in like late November too. Because remember, when he got hurt in the spring last year, he was back by Tennessee at the end of September, and he played the rest of the season. So Troy could actually, technically, all 3 of these guys could come back this season and play. They physically could play. So since that's the case, I think that's why you see them on these sheets, because there is an opportunity for them to return.
Yeah, the good news is, for the most part, Oklahoma's pretty healthy. All the guys that you've been relying on this season, for the most part, are going to be available. So you're down Derek Simmons. You're probably not going to see Keontez Lewis, but you got Giovanni Gibson back, and he's showing out. And he's playing really, really well. Let's talk Ole Miss. Let's talk Oklahoma. What are we looking for in this game coming up next here on Locked On Sooners? This episode is brought to you by Mazda's Moving the Game Forward. For those who believe it's not just about playing the game, it's about redefining it. There are moments that do more than put points on the board. They move crowds, move culture, and keep moving the game forward. This week's moment that moved the game forward is Taylor Wine's tackle on Lenora Sellers. 4th and goal. Lenora Sellers is under pressure. He escapes the pocket. He's heading for the end zone. Looks like he's going to be scoring a touchdown. Out of nowhere comes Taylor Wine, blazing speed, getting Lenora Sellers from behind and saving the touchdown. That was a huge moment in that game that really set the Oklahoma Sooners defense up, and it kept momentum in Oklahoma's favor. When you follow what moves you, the unexpected is only the beginning. And just like there's more to every highlight, there's more to a Mazda vehicle. Mazda, move and be moved. Once again, thanks for making Locked On Sooners your first listen every single day. Shout out to all the everydayers out there. Tune in and subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Jay, as you look at this Oklahoma versus Ole Miss matchup, what is your general feeling about the game?
It's really going to be their offense versus our defense. That's probably the critical conversation to have. And we've heard it all week. I mean, I've talked about it. You've talked about it. Every fan out there has totally talked about it. It's literally the most critical part of this game is how is Lane Kiffin going to scheme it up against Brent Venables? We saw last year, even with a quarterback like Jackson Dart, who could get that ball out there, we did a good job of containing most of the big problems that Ole Miss would provide. And again, we had to lead at the half. In the second half, things fell apart. I can see this team doing 10 times better when it comes to the way they played last season. And this is the money game. This is the game where our defense has the opportunity to show that they're legitimate. This is the game where we can shut up all the naysayers about, well, you really haven't played anybody. I mean, we're 6-1. We're already bowl eligible. So that's obviously a good thing for the way Oklahoma plays football. We played against some solid teams. Granted, the Texas game feels like more of an anomaly than anything. The Michigan team is back ranked in the top 25. They're playing really good ball, and their offense is starting to hum again. Auburn, whatever. But in South Carolina, meh. But that also goes back to the whole conversation we had when the season started, John. Try to tell people, man, the schedule is going to be as hard as people thought. Like the hard part's coming up now, right? You've got Tennessee, Alabama, Missouri, LSU. And those questions are, how tough is that game going to be? We had this game circled as one that we should be able to potentially win, mainly because the defense has proven to be even more stout than we expected, even though I did say at the beginning of the year, statistically, they were going to look better than they did last year. Why? Because we've got a competent offense. But I was wrong in the fact that it was only because of the offense. This defense is real. We just now get to see this is the money game that Robert Spears Jennings mentioned to us. Let's see if they can make it happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly going to be a challenge, but this is the game that sets you apart. If you go and you perform well in this one, I think everybody's going to have to take notice. Now, there are going to be a lot of people out there that try to claim that Ole Miss was overrated. No matter how if Oklahoma wins this one, there will be people out there trying to claim it. It's not true. Don't fall for it. This is a really good offense. They can run the ball. They can throw the ball. They've got weapons out the wazoo. Not Washington State, but out the wazoo. It's really good. It's a really good team. So if Oklahoma goes out there and they perform well, Oklahoma's going to have a chance to win this one. Just a few weeks back, the best defense that they'd played all season long was LSU. LSU held them to 24 points. So it's not like they are an unstoppable force like the 2019 LSU Tigers. It's not that. They can be slowed down. It's just, can Oklahoma slow them down? I think they can. They've got the guys in the front seven that can do it. They've got talent in the secondary. It's just a matter of, do they give up the chunk plays like Georgia gave up? Georgia is not the defense that we've come to expect from the Georgia Bulldogs. They gave up some big plays to that Ole Miss offense. This Oklahoma defense, they give up a chunk play here and there, but they don't give up a lot of them. If Ole Miss is going to live and die by that, they're not going to have a great day. But if they try to nickel and dime Oklahoma the way Texas did, that might be their better way forward, because you don't want Trinidad sitting back in the pocket for 3-4 seconds trying to find things down the field. We've seen what Oklahoma can do to mobile quarterbacks. The ones that have got away from them are the bigger, stronger ones. Arch, Lenora Sellers. If Trinidad wants to run, okay, good luck. This team, if they tackle well, it's going to be a tough day for him.
Yeah, the most important thing, like you said, is going to be tackling very well. The bigger one is going to be, we know Trinidad Chambliss is going to get out there and he's going to throw the ball. Now, it's been confirmed by Pete Nakos that he will be the starting quarterback this week. I'm not sure why we needed a confirmation on that. jokingly here,
Yeah.
because I understood why they did it. It was mainly because Austin Simmons appears to be back healthy.
Okay.
I guess he's going through drills and everything, and he's about at the point of returning. But Trinidad's been balling way too good for them to even think about taking that kid out. No, don't be dumb. Be smart. Be smart here. You play the guy that's gotten you where you are. So I expect Trinidad to play most of this game. I can see a point though where Trinidad comes out, and that's because things aren't going very hunky dory for him and the way that Ole Miss would like. Granted, like you said, he balled out against Georgia for the most part, 260 something yards, and they played hard, but they've not played against a team like Oklahoma that leads the country in tackles for loss. Right now, we're at 75. The next best team to us in the SEC is Texas A&M at 55. We got them by 20 tackles for loss, and we're averaging over 10 per game. Like the only game we haven't, I think the only game we did not get 10 tackles for loss in was against Michigan. That tells you everything you need to know about the way this team is playing. We are in a world where this Oklahoma defense could hold them, which Ole Miss averages 491 yards per game this season, could hold them under 300 yards, especially with the weather as a factor.
Well, and listen, Trinidad's going on the road for the second straight game. Ole Miss has been a pretty good first half team, not a great second half team. I wonder how the back-to-back road games going into Athens. Oh my gosh. So we have a park here in Tahlequah called Anthus Brennan Park, and I think that's what's got me tripped up. Going into Athens, then going into Norman. Got that one right. How is that going to work out for Ole Miss? Because that's two back-to-back tough road trips against two tough teams. They played a lot last week. Oklahoma's defense, again, is a lot better. It's more physical. Will that offensive line be up to the task? Part of the reason probably LSU lost that game 24-20 in Oxford was because their offense is terrible. They can't do anything consistently. Oklahoma's offense, it's pretty good. John Mateer's pretty good. They found a run game last week, and Ole Miss's run defense is 99th in the nation. This, to me, looks like a game where Oklahoma's going to want to try to run the ball again, kill the clock, own time of possession, keep Trinidad off the field, and not let them get in any kind of a rhythm. And I think Oklahoma's offense is going to have a chance to dictate the way that this game goes.
Yeah, and I'd heard a stat earlier this week. I can't verify how true it is, but I thought it was very fascinating. Like teams are like 2-10 in back-to-back road games on the second road game this season. So this is not a good situation for Ole Miss, and I'm not downplaying them. Like I said, offensively, I think they're going to be really good, and they're going to be a great test for this Oklahoma squad. But let's keep in mind this is back-to-back road games, and I think the other thing to keep in mind too is that this Ole Miss team, John, they've done something that is not a good number to have for your team. I'm going to tell you exactly what this is right now, because I need to pull up the exact number, because when I heard it, this was one stat I said I did not believe, but I pulled it up and I looked at it and I'm like, oh gosh, that's a lot. Do you know how many snaps Ole Miss played on defense last week?
How many?
84.
Woo!
That is a lot of snaps to play on the defensive side of the ball. Remember, for the uninitiated, Oklahoma's biggest problem last year was that defense never got the field.
Right.
And that team started to look gassed more and more as the season went on. They played a night game against Georgia, 84 snaps on defense. There's a very good chance that Ole Miss is beat up by the end of the second quarter, being exhausted. Our defense played 70 snaps. We also played 29 different dudes. In their game, they played 84 snaps, and they only played 19 dudes. Like, their top middle linebacker, TJ Daughtry, played 84 snaps. He played every snap of the game. Their corner, Kite, played 80 snaps. Centurion Perkins played 74 snaps. That's a lot of snaps. Whereas for us, our top guy played 48.
Yeah.
Our Mason Thomas played 48. Peyton Bowen, Robert Spears Jennings, and Peyton Boying and Robert Spears-Jenkins both played 47 snaps, and then Devon Jordan played 41. Stone played 40. So our players are playing roughly half to two-thirds of the snaps that they're playing. All those extra snaps have to wear you out, and I think that that's been one problem Ole Miss has had this season is they've done a lot of that, like a lot of snaps every week.
Yeah, that's going to definitely be a factor. Again, back-to-back road games, playing a lot against Georgia in a game that was an emotional shootout, one that you had and you let go of. How deflating was that? What's the distraction level with all the Lane Kiffin to Florida rumors? That's something we haven't even discussed. I mean, there's so many different layers to this game. College football playoff implications. It's a huge game. And man, I'm so excited to see Oklahoma in this one. I think it's the one that makes everybody really take Oklahoma seriously. We'll discuss more of it coming up with our predictions and our Friday fan feels coming up next year on Locked On Sooners.
It's almost the weekend and time to look back and crown this week's MVP on Who Delivered, powered by DoorDash. It's like you can win every Saturday with DoorDash Streaks. Saving more every time you order. These players delivered when it mattered most. Let's break it down. For the Oklahoma Sooners, it's got to be Tory Blaylock. He delivered in a big way, especially that touchdown run he had where he bounced to the outside and just accelerated to the zone. When the pressure was on, Tory Blaylock came through. No hesitation, no delays. And if you've been watching him week after week, performance wasn't a fluke. Tory Blaylock is on a streak, and he's been cooking. And now Oklahoma needs to keep that streak going. And just like Tory Blaylock delivered for the Sooners, DoorDash delivers your Saturdays with DoorDash Streaks. You save every Saturday you order, stacking it up all season, and you could save up to $250, including $100 in DoorDash credits. Order this Saturday. Keep the streak alive. Fuel your game only with DoorDash. Terms apply. Promo period through November 18th. The NFL season is here, and FanDuel is an offer you don't want to miss right now. New customers can bet just $5, and if it wins, they'll take home $300 in bonus bets. That's right. Pick a bet, put down $5, and if you hit, you unlock $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. So like right now, this game, Oklahoma versus Ole Miss, that spread is ballooning. Sooners minus 5.5. It opened at like 2 or 3. Sounds like Vegas is trying to tell everybody something. I know all the bets is on Ole Miss, so something to check out. So if you want to make the game a little bit more exciting, put a little action to ride on it and see what's going on. So what are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com to download the FanDuel app today and get started.
Once again, thanks for making Locked On Sooners your first listen every single day. Shout out to all the everydayers out there. Tune in and subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Reminder, we will be here after the show or after the game to break down what happens in Oklahoma versus Ole Miss. We'll do it live on the YouTube channel, so make sure you're available for that, around for that. Even if there's good college football action going on, leave that on your TV, put us on your phone. That way you can break down the game with us. Be in the chat so you can tell us your thoughts. We want to hear it. Final predictions, Friday fan feels. Which one do you want to do first, Jay?
Let's do final predictions first. Let's wrap up with the fan feels, because I know the fans got a lot of stuff to tell us. Yeah. So final prediction on this game, I think Oklahoma does what they need to do. They hold them under 300 yards of total offense, and they put a stamp on the toughness of this defense, win the game in a very low-scoring fashion, 24-7.
Ooh.
A complete repeat of last week.
Okay.
Especially because of the weather. I want to go more, but I think that the weather, they're not gonna go out there and really accelerate on this team.
Okay.
They're take their time, and they're just going to be meticulous. They're going to run the ball down their throat because Ole Miss is not a good running defense. They're like 88th in the country. They're not very good at all. Grades are very low. They're not total yards are not very good.
Yeah.
I think we take advantage of that.
I love that. I'm saying 23-20. I'm giving Ole Miss a little bit more respect than Jay is. But I just think that Trinidad's playing good ball. He protects the ball really well. He's not putting it in harm's way. He's going to have to in this one, though. So I think Oklahoma does get a turnover or two. But I think that Oklahoma's defense does enough. My bold prediction earlier in the week was they hold Trinidad under 200 total yards, and I could see it. I think that they get to him and they bring him down. They get four sacks again in this one or more. So I think it's just another really strong day for the Oklahoma defense. And I think John Mateer, again, does just enough to keep the ball moving forward as they find their identity as a defensive football team. This is what defensive teams do. You run the ball, you control time of possession, you played field position, and you put all of the pressure on the other team to try to drive the field. You don't give up big plays, you win this game going away. All right, let's get into Friday Fan Feels, Jay. We're going to start with this one from Patty from X, formerly known as Twitter. She says, I'm totally in on the OU defense.
Good. I'm glad that you all are jumping on board. Welcome to the wagon. The covered wagon has been waiting for you. No, Patty, you're 100% correct. I'm also so in on this defense. It's just week after week they've shown the consistency. Heck, even in the abysmal Texas game, they looked fantastic the entire first half. Our offense just didn't capitalize on it, because if the offense capitalized on that when you're up 17-3, and it makes things very difficult from there. Yeah. You just didn't, and so everything falls apart after a certain amount of time. Like I can never expect a team to hold it down for 4 quarters when they're the only ones doing it on that side of the ball. Mm-hmm. Can't. So I'm not. I like I said, I flushed that game. We've moved forward. Patty, you're spot on. This defense is real.
Oklahoma gets a lead, and that's pretty much all she wrote. You know, if you get a touchdown lead, this defense really takes it personally, and they go and take the game. They take the game over. So if Oklahoma is able to get off to a great start, get an early lead against Ole Miss, love where they're headed. Again, really just 1 quarter that they were bad, and not even really bad, just not as good as they've been against Texas. Just 1 quarter. That's it. Otherwise, they've been, for the most part, pretty dominant. This one comes from Bear from X. He says, put the whole country on notice. If we can finally click in all 3 phases and on offense, have both ground game and passing game. He's crown emoji, fireworks emoji.
We're there.
Boom,
explosion. All we need is for this defense, like I said, to quiet the naysayers. And this is the game to do it. Just go out there and continue to ball out, because it ain't good enough. It ain't ever good enough. Better, never best. Keep getting better. Keep getting 1% better each week. And here you go.
Because what does Brent Venables say?
Welcome to Oklahoma.
Every single time.
The bet, your good is not good enough. So this one comes from Anthony from YouTube. He says, defense is going to shine once again. Still standing by my prediction for the week, 27-13.
Ooh. I'm a little disappointed you said 13 points, though. But okay. I mean, I guess I can go with that. I want us to shut out one of these SEC teams. I want us to shut out one of these high-octane, high-powerful offenses. That's what I'm curious to see, if Brent Venables can make that happen. If there's a chance, this is probably the closest one. I'm going to be honest. This is probably the one game that I think that we have the best chance of doing it. This is no shade to Ole Miss whatsoever. I think this is, but I do think that this is the one that we have the best chance. And I'm saying it's the best chance because of the weather. The weather is very optimal for us, the opportunity to be able to shut out a squad. It's going to be hard. Like I'm not going to pretend and say, "Oh, we're going to easily walk out there." No, that's preposterous. There's zero realisticness of us being able to just go out there and just walk out there. No, but I do think that we have the opportunity of all weeks this week with the weather potentially to be able to shoot a shutout. I don't think we do, but I think we can. We have the chance.
Georgia Sooner from X says, we play OU football and we walk out with a 10-point win.
Ooh.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. If they play a really good game, they can win this one by 10.
Yep. I expect a double-digit one in this one.
You expect a lot of double digits. Yeah.
Right. I expect, Mateer's been playing better week over week. I think that injury, of course, slowed down the progress of the way the offense was going. It was looking better. Like you were starting to see them break out, and do some, fun stuff and be consistent. I mean, Satania is not getting plays reviewed anymore. So that's always a plus that helps you in your progress and playing. And now you got Giovanni Gibson back.
Mhm.
And you can tell that Mateer wants to get him going because he's been force feeding him a lot of the short plays. I expect a big play to come from there. You may get Giovanni Gibson catch it and be gone at some point. But I know that Satania and Burks is going to break one eventually too. So let's get it.
Drunk Saying on YouTube says, I think this is the best offense we've played yet for sure. They hung 35 on Georgia. I think our defense will hold them to 20 or less.
If we can hold them less than 20, we win this game.
Yeah.
Because I think we score more than 20. We hold them less. I think we can.
Yeah.
It's going to be a challenge again, but I think the weather is going to be what gives us the opportunity to cause problems.
And so Stephen Willis, Locked On Ole Miss, said earlier in the week, like if it's a weather game that he feels like that's a detriment to John Mateer because of the hand and the grip and all that. Let's remember where John Mateer came from, Washington State. There's quite a bit of weather up there. I'm sure my guys experienced playing in the rain a little bit. So I'm not too concerned about that.
There for 3 years.
Yeah. This one comes from Brandon on YouTube. He says, I feel like this is the game that the OU defense has the opportunity to go out and show the nation that they are for sure the best in the land. With that in a run game, we should get the dub.
I agree 100%. This is the money game.
This is it. I mean, to me, this one, Tennessee, Alabama, those are the three best offenses you have left to play on your schedule. If you go and you show out in this one, it's going to put a lot of pressure on Josh Heupel in Tennessee and Kalen DeBoer, Ryan Grubb in Alabama here in a few weeks, because they're sitting there probably looking at this Oklahoma defense like, yeah, they're really good, but have they played an offense like ours yet? Well, Ole Miss is an offense that ranks higher in several statistical categories than Alabama and Tennessee. If they can hold it down and they can slow down that Ole Miss offense, again, that's going to make Tennessee and Alabama ask some questions about their offense ahead of those big time matchups. But it's a big time game with college football playoff implications. It's one that I think Oklahoma has to have if they want to be in the playoff discussion, because you get 3 road games. You got to go to Tuscaloosa, got to go to Knoxville, 2 difficult places to play, got to win your home games, got to steal one on the road to really solidify a spot in the playoff here in December. I know there's a lot of discussion about 9-3. We haven't really had a chance to talk about, does 9-3 get Oklahoma into the playoff? Maybe that's a discussion for down the road, but there are a lot of people that are optimistic about that. I'm not so sure. So you got to go win this one. Every game is a must win. Every game is going to be a playoff game because every team on your schedule has playoff aspirations. Go win it.
True. I guess the bigger question's going to be, does Oklahoma want it?
How much you want it, guys?
How much you want it? Like you said, I think 9-3 gets Oklahoma in, especially if the losses are to top teams that's left. But, I mean, you should be able to win in Knoxville. It's going to be hard, but you've done it before. So it's not like it's impossible. You've seen them kind of struggle a little bit. Tuscaloosa is going to be tough, but you've done it before. So that's going to be a challenge that you should be able to meet. Missouri is going to be interesting because their run game is what they focus on, and LSU has been falling. I mean, heck, we'll see if Brian Kelly is still the coach at the time.
Yeah, who knows what quarterback will play by that time?
Yeah, if Nuss is even healthy.
Right. So it's just one of those games that, hey, you're at home. This is a game you got to go win. Just go win it. Go play your best football. Don't take anything for granted. Don't take anything lightly. Go play ball. And that's going to do it for today's episode of Locked On Sooners. Thanks so much for tuning in, being a part of the show. Subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. We're free and available on all podcast platforms and on YouTube. So hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell to let you know when new episodes drop and when we go live after the game on Saturday. Again, subscribe wherever you get your podcast. Follow Jay at Unfair Sports. Go check him out on Unfair Sports for more Oklahoma football and college football coverage. You can follow me at John 9 Williams and read my work covering the Sooners over at SoonersWire.com. The show is at Locked On Sooners on all of your favorite social media platforms. But until next time, he's Jay Smith. I'm John Williams. Boomer Sooner.